Do not, I repeat, do not take your truck to Love's to get an oil change. So I'm gonna tell you what happened to us today. We took our truck in at 6 o'clock in the morning to get an oil change and an airbag replaced. 10 hours later, the truck leaves out on the tow truck. So the mechanic comes back, he tells me to crank the truck up. I'm cranking the truck, it won't start. So I asked him, did you prime the primer? He tells me, oops, nope, I forgot to prime the primer. So he primes it up. Spin it over, driver. I get in, I spin it over. Spin it over, still doesn't crank. So they call in another mechanic to see what was wrong with it. He finds out that they put the wrong filter in there. So they get the right filter, put it in, prime it up, turn it over, driver. I spin it over again, won't do anything, won't crank, okay? So they fidget with it, mess with it, do this, do that, can't get it cranked. And so they call another mechanic. This mechanic comes and he said, oh, okay, well, since you put the wrong filter in, you got so much air in it, now it's vapor lock. So he finally gets it cranked, okay, then tries to crank it again, it won't crank again, and he says, oh, okay, it must be the aftermarket fuel filter. So they go and get another fuel filter, put that in, crank it up, driver, crank it over, crank it, won't crank. They work on this truck for about 5 hours trying to get it cranked. Then they come out and tell me, oh, you're gonna have to call a tow truck. I say, call a tow truck? Yeah, you're gonna have to call a tow truck to get it out of here. I said, well, y'all must gonna pay for this tow bill, right? He tells me, no, we can't pay for it. I say, okay, so in what universe is it my responsibility to pay for a tow truck when y'all made the mistake of putting the wrong filter in, putting all this air in my system? He tells me, oh, well, it's a new mechanic. So he didn't know what he was doing. So, I mean, it is what it is. I said, okay, so you're admitting that it's a new mechanic. He doesn't know what he's doing, but somehow that's my responsibility to pay for a tow truck. So after we go back and forth, I say, okay, well, I'm gonna have to get somebody in here that can make some decisions. So I get to the manager. The manager comes out, okay, we're gonna have to look at the footage and see what happens, see what it is, but I'm gonna have to get with my district manager and see if we can pay for the tow truck. So they come back, they're gonna pay for the tow truck, and as you see right now, I'm having a stiff drink because my nerves is bad because I brought a truck in the shop at 6 o'clock in the morning, 10 hours later, is leaving on the tow truck. So my advice to you is to never, ever, 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 ever take your truck to Love's for an oil change, unless you want to be stranded. Please share this video, warn people, let them know that they got bootleg, Cracker Jack, shade tree, oil changing mechanics at Love's. That'll be all.